it's Colleen with Rope and Reseller. I'm here for a weekly sales update of what I sold on eBay for the week of May 13th through the 19th, 2019.
Okay, so first thing up, 35 millimeter film. I know that this is hard to get these days. 2003 was when it expired, but someone still bought it relatively quickly. I sold it for $29.99, collected $35.11, spent about $1 on this at an estate sale. $3.47 in eBay and PayPal fees, $5.12 in shipping fees for a total profit $25.52, and it took only 2 days to sell. Somebody did ask me for a deal for a friend, and I was like, yeah, there's no friends in resale, but in the time that I was corresponding with him, somebody else just bought it outright. Amazon, Kindle, these things still sell even though they're kind of old. I charged it up really well, and I actually included a cable, which I said in the listing I didn't have, and it had a really nice leather case. So it sold for $24.99. I collected $32.54. I spent $6 on this because this was I got a bunch of electronic devices from my kid's school, and I said I would give them a percentage of the sale. And so I gave them $6 on this. So my total profit on that was $16.67, and it took 2 months to sell. Here is a bark cloth. So you know by the texture, it was just a tablecloth. I used to pick these up all the time, but they honestly don't sell very well for me. Unless there's something really cool and mid-century modern, like I sold a tea towel once that was $40, but now I know what to look for if it's signed. But just kind of the generic bridge, ladies bridge club kind of thing, I don't really pick these up anymore. They take a while to sell. $19.99 is what this sold for. I collected $26.94. I didn't spend anything on this. I got it at a garage sale, and they just kind of threw it in. So my total profit was $16.64, but it did take a year to sell. This was Norman Rockwell, a bunch of just little prints. They were nice, but I had them in my booth. That's how long I've had them, because I haven't had a booth in a couple years. So anyway, they sold. Somebody offered me $20, and I jumped on it. I collected $23.36. I spent about $1 on this at. It came in an auction lot actually, and so my total profit was $15.88. But it took 3 years to sell. So here's another sword from my father's estate. This one was Japanese or Chinese. I'm not really sure. Originally, I thought it was Japanese because that's what my father had written down on the card. But I realized that China also made copies of the Japanese sword, and it had some condition issues. You know, it was bent. And the guy who bought it, actually, I think he had something like repairs swords in his name. So anyway, it seems like it went to a good home. $139.50 is what it sold for. $152.96 is what I collected. I didn't spend anything on this. So fees on this I'll just mention because they were somewhat significant. $18.99 and $12.71 for shipping. So my profit on that was $121.26, but it sold the same day, so that was a quick one. Disney cars. So I tried out the new make offer to watchers, and I offered $9. I think I had like 4 watchers on this, and this is another thing I've had for a really long time. And so I sent out $9, and someone took it. $13.24 is what I collected. I spent about $1 on this at a garage sale ages ago. Total profit $6.17. It took 4 years to sell. Here's a pattern from a big box of patterns I picked up at an estate sale. These are, you know, solid sellers, not quick sellers. $11.62 is what it sold for with free shipping. I spent about 10 cents on this because I bought a big box of patterns. So my total profit was $7.06, and it took 5 months to sell. Miller High Life, anything with beer, vintage. You know, this is a classic snapback. Usually sells pretty well for me. $23.24 is what it sold for. I collected $26.52. Spent $1 on this at an estate sale. So my total profit was $19.26. It took 7 months to sell. This is a filter. I don't know a lot about photography equipment. Hey, I sold 2 things in relation to photography this week, I just realized. $13.94 is what this sold for, and I collected $16.70. I spent about 25 cents. This also came in a big auction lot with a bunch of photography equipment. $11.88 is my total profit, and it took a year to sell. Pokemon, I did a little video on getting stuff out of bags at Goodwill, and this was in one of those bags. It sold for $9.29. I collected $12.57. I spent about a dollar, maybe less, on all of these because there were 4 in there. And my total profit was $7. It took 3 months to sell. And the last thing was this little Tonka buggy. This was 3.5 inches. It was the biggest one that I bought. It had some chips in the paint and stuff, and I disclosed all that. So it sold for $9.99. I collected $13.35. I spent about 75 cents on this at an estate sale that I went to a couple weeks ago. And my total profit was $7.33. It took 4 days to sell. So running through the numbers, $311.55 is what everything sold for. I collected $364.91. $12.10 cost of goods, most of that being that Kindle. So that's pretty good. 11 items and a little over a dollar a piece. $44.41 in fees. $53.73 in shipping. Total profit $254.67. I'd love to be higher, but we'll talk about it. Amazon merch, 12 shirts and 1 pop socket. My total royalties on that was $52.12. So my total e-commerce for the week, $306.79.
So an average week, I really can't complain, but without that sword, I can honestly say I sold 3 things for under $10 this week. I am just getting low ball offers and things are not happening. It's the summer slowdown. It's going to be a holiday weekend this weekend, Memorial Day, so people are not shopping. They're out having barbecues, so don't expect a lot of sales this week either or next week. And those are also really slow times for garage sales around here. So some things I'd like to mention just reminders, because this is something that I just did. I saw that I had paid my store fees this week, and I noticed a $69 credit, and I couldn't figure out why that was. So I went and looked at my invoice, and it was insertion fees. So that just tells me I pay $59 a month for my premium store, that I'm getting that back, not paying insertion fees. So it definitely pays. Plus you get shipping supplies. But the other thing to do to remind you is to go through that actual invoice, because I've had months where I didn't go through and then a couple months go by and I have random fees like a gallery fee or a bold title fee. I mean, I try to look at that before I list to see, because right at the bottom, right before you hit list, it'll say extra fees or something like that, and usually I can catch it, but if I'm not paying attention or if it's something that's been there for a while, it's good to go through your invoices every now and then, and so I did that this morning. The other thing I wanted to mention was I was out garage selling over the weekend, and I came across this great deal on an inflatable kayak, and they wanted $125, which seemed like a lot of money, but if I flip it, I could probably get $350 to $400 for this kayak. It's a really nice, good quality one. And so I didn't have that much cash with me. I asked the guy who was having the garage sale if he took PayPal, and sure enough he did. So that worked out great, because then I could just transfer the money to his PayPal and walk away with a kayak. I'm actually going to keep it, but if I want to flip it. And so there, I just want to give you an example of, if you don't want to carry a lot of cash with you, sometimes people will be able to take PayPal or Square. And the other thing is, don't be afraid to pay up. Yeah, it cost me $125. I am going to keep it, but I could probably at least double my money on that kayak. I mean, if I wanted to sell it tomorrow, I could probably sell it for $250 because it's a really good quality brand. So keep that in mind when you're out and you think, oh, I don't have enough money to cover this because you don't have cash. Not everything at garage sales has to be cash anymore. Okay, so that's it for me for this week. I will try to do a what's it worth. I think things in my life are kind of getting to a routine again, and I might have a little bit of time towards the end of the week to do some other videos, and maybe I can do a couple in a day or something and then have some for the next couple of weeks. So with that, have a great holiday weekend if I don't see you before then, and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, it's free, and tell your friends. Thanks for watching.